so many of us, that is so difficult to do. It's the idea that we could be suffering under the foot of our oppressor for so many years. You mentioned the fact that, in the book, you talked about the fact that your home was bulldozed in the 1960s. You lost your home. You lost your daughters. Your wife, when she was dying of cancer, you had an inordinate amount of difficulty getting back home, getting over the border, because there were so many obstacles placed in your way. For many of us, the idea of forgiving, or the idea of wanting reconciliation or wanting to pursue reconciliation, given that history, is really hard to fathom. So what can we do to find that kind of strength?
I lost my house, my wife, my daughters, but they didn't succeed to take over from me. Hope is my life. Hope will be lost just the day I died. It's in my soul also. We have to have faith and to believe in anything you believe in. Whatever your faith is. For me, as a Muslim, if you endure patiently, you will be rewarded. Even for the one who committed that, what did you say about revenge? If they brought him to me and they asked me to do whatever I want, is it going to return? What is important for me is my daughters. Is it going to return my daughters? No. Sometimes I'm thinking, how is he living? If his conscience wakes up one day and to have children, how can he run his life? His act, what did he do to others? And that's what do we need? A mistake can't be corrected by mistake. A mistake is to learn from it. And also, if I started to think of anger and outrage, when you are angry, I will say to you, please, don't be angry. It's harmful to you. So that's what do we want to start thinking of that anger. Prophet Muhammad said, it's not the strongest physically or the lesser. The strongest is the one who controls himself when he is in anger. Because once you are angry, you lose control of your tongue, of your body. You induce harm, and you may regret about what did you do to others. Why not?
You've talked about the fact that you imagine yourself, you see yourself as a bridge. You played the role of being a bridge between the solitudes, between Palestinians and between Israelis. You are a fertility expert. You're an obstetrician, gynecologist. And I would imagine, and you've worked for years in Israeli hospitals, and I'm curious as to how some of your friends or colleagues viewed you. You know, Izzeldin, working in Israel, working with Israeli families, with Israeli women who are having fertility problems, enabling them to bring children into the world. Children who some of these Palestinian colleagues of yours or friends of yours might see as being potential soldiers in the future. So how did your colleagues and friends, or how have your colleagues and friends in Palestine seen you?
My Palestinian people, they are proud of that. And if you believe in something, you must do that. From the first day I started working in Israel in 1991, I believed in it. And my Palestinian people, they are proud. And they realize that Unless he is successful, they will never accept him.
But you must have endured criticism. There must have been some people who questioned
some. What about the majority? And that's what do we need? To look for the majority and to be focused and not to be deviated from your goal. If you want to be distracted by some people, you will never achieve your goal.
What are some things that you think your Palestinian brothers and sisters don't understand about Israelis?
From my experience, as Palestinians and Israelis, our enemy is our ignorance of each other. We don't know each other. Even we are stereotyped about each other.
What are they?
The Israelis, they see the media, what did they show them? Just in Qassam rockets, as suicide bombs, and that's all. And the Palestinians, they see the Israelis with the tanks, with the soldiers, with the F-16 Apache, in the military. But when they come within the hospitals to meet together, in the hospital where I used to work, third of the children in the children's hospitals are Palestinians. And they discover that they are similar. Do we need to be vulnerable and sick to know each other? Our problems. From the start, the day I started my work, I understood it is lack of communication and lack of a trust. Once we don't communicate, there is no trust. So that's what did I say. We need to smash those mental and physical barriers which are artificial. Bring people together. Start from the bottom up. It will help. The leaders who must be risk takers and the challenge and make a difference and work for their nations, not for their parties or their own individual interest.
What do you say to those Israelis who say that Palestinians aren't interested in peace? That Palestinians, in fact, many of them don't even believe that we Israelis should exist. What do you say to them? We can't trust. We can't trust these Palestinians.
A trust is mutual. The coin has two sides. I can't say I can't trust you, but you trust me. It's a mutual. It's two sides. And both must work for that trust. And that's what I'm saying to the Israelis, my Israeli friends. Please. Palestinians are not interested in peace. What about you? If you are interested in peace, show the other that you are interested. And even if I have a problem with you, I must go to you to speak with you. Because for us, when I say us as Palestinians and Israelis, we are linked. And we must care about each other. This is the only way. The myth is, what did you say? They don't want Israel to be there. It's a myth. And we must prevent that. I remember, even I learned, in 1948, they asked the first Israeli Prime Minister, Ben-Gurion, what are you going to do after the independence of Israel? He said, don't worry. The Palestinians, the old Palestinians, will die, and the young will forget. And the Arabs and Palestinians were thinking with their myth, we will throw Israel in the sea. After more than 6 decades, Israel is there as a fact, as reality, and the Palestinians, neither the old died nor the young forget. So can we learn and to change and to realize and to adopt a new way of avoiding delegitimization of the other. This is the only way if we are looking for a long, sustainable, safe life for all.